Hi everybody, I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk, and today I'm going to talk about why I believe Black Panther is one of the best superhero movies ever made. I thought this the first time I saw Black Panther, and I've been meaning to make this video. Also, I made a video about Star Trek. That's what I was going to upload today, and then last night I found out that the actor Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther, passed away, and I I cried because basically Black Panther passed away, you know, or just what he symbolized, and he always seemed like such a outstanding person. So I feel like it's a sad day in the nerd community or people who are fans of the Marvel movies, which I am. This is just like a sad day. So I'm keeping his friends and family in my prayers. 2020 has been a rough year. I don't know if you've noticed. It's been a doozy for various reasons. I also want to say that I don't do the whole crying on video thing. I do get personal in my videos, but I don't get like super personal, and that's a choice I've made. So what I wanted to say is a week or two ago, my best friend's mother passed away, and I was crying about that. She was like a mother figure to me. According to my belief system, she's in heaven, she's doing well, she's eating all the cake she wants in heaven, and that's what I believe. But I know, like, her passing away a couple weeks ago, and she was always a hero in my life growing up. And now, with Glee was a show I liked, and Naya Rivera, the actress who played Santana Lopez, who had a really great storyline in general, but a really great lesbian storyline as far as her character coming out. But the actress who played her passed away not too long ago, and now Black Panther passed away. Like, this is all sad. But my memorial to Chadwick, and it's just to talk about the movie Black Panther, because the night I saw it, I was like, this is one of the best superhero movies ever made. So I'm going to talk about why it's so good. And also, I loved Black Panther. So as far as like the character, so even when we first saw him in a movie, I believe it was Civil War. You know, it was Iron Man versus Captain America. When I saw him in that, I saw Black Panther in that, and I was like, this guy is cool. Like, I love the character. I loved how Chadwick played him. So I was like, okay, this is exciting. And that's when there's a local comic book store that I go to. It's called Cape and Cow, and I totally recommend it if you're ever in Oakland. But that's when they have like sales sometimes. But that's the first time I got, you know, it's my Black Panther action figure, and because I thought it was really cool, and that's before the movie even came out, before he had his own movie. Okay. So, yeah, so I you know, it's been a rough couple of months for a lot of reasons, for all of us. I'm sure y'all watching this have your reasons. But I'm going to talk about, like, I've always thought Black Panther was one of the best superhero movies ever made, so I'm going to talk about why. And honestly, straight up, number one, the first reason why Black Panther is one of the best movies ever made is because of Chadwick Boseman, and I hope I'm saying his last name right, but the way he played Black Panther. I would put Chadwick in the same category as far as acting ability as, and he played Jackie Robinson. Like, his acting resume is like really long. I think he played you know, the famous musician James Brown, and anyway, so for sure he was a good actor. But as far as superheroes go, I put him in the exact same category as Christopher Reeves. And all due respect to, you know, all the actors who've played Superman, but hands down, I'm still always going to feel like Christopher Reeves played Superman the best. And yeah, that's the first Superman I ever saw. I was a little kid. But the grace that Christopher Reeves brought to Superman was outstanding. And I think Superman gets misunderstood. a lot. But to play a character who believes in common decency, or to play a character who believes in the greater good, like Superman, and to do it with so much grace and so much integrity, from an acting standpoint, that's a tall order, in my opinion. And you have to exhibit. You have to play it like you're someone who's super strong and who can stop a bullet. So that's Christopher Reeves. He was compassionate. He was empathetic. But you believed that he could stop a bullet if he needed to. That's the same deal with Chadwick Boseman, the way he played Black Panther. Because Chadwick, or T'Challa, Black Panther, he is a leader. He is a king. He does lead. You have to believe that this, and he takes his role seriously. Not serious like douchey, but serious as in he understands the responsibility that he has as a leader of his kingdom. So, so for Chadwick to play this character who, on one hand, is extremely super strength strong because he's a superhero and he can do all this cool stuff, but at the same time he's compassionate and empathetic and believes in leading his people, and gets a little shy around the ladies because he freezes. It's a great joke when he freezes. Anyway, and his love interest is played, in all fairness, played by Lupita, who's absolutely beautiful. Also, we're all children of God, we're all beautiful, but you know what I mean. So, but to play this kind of character and to play it with that much integrity and that much strength and where it's believable, that is quite a compliment to Chadwick Boseman, because he was so insanely talented. And what I said on Instagram is, like, heaven just gained a superhero. Absolutely, heaven just gained a superhero. So the reason why Black Panther, number one reason, props to Ryan Coogler, the director, props to Michael B. Jordan, who played the villain. But to sell a movie like that, and to make it believable, and to make it believable that this guy really is that decent, Chadwick did it. He played this role with grace, integrity. You just believed that he was a good guy. And the other thing about Christopher Reeves and Chadwick Boseman is that you have to, where you can toe a fine line is having these actors play these really decent, good people without it coming across like cheesy. And I think Superman, the original Superman, you know, it doesn't come across cheesy. It comes across extremely believable. I think if you're a cynic, you're not gonna like Superman, but Superman's not for cynics. And if you're a cynic, you're not gonna like Black Panther, but Black Panther's not for cynics. It's not for cynics. So it just, I don't know what you're gonna watch if you're a cynic, but you're not gonna like Superman or Black Panther. But if you believe in the greater good, you believe in making the world a better place, then Superman's a great superhero and Black Panther's a great superhero. I put Chadwick Boseman in a very high category as far as his acting ability. I think me as a humble indie filmmaker, I've taken acting classes, I've done acting in my own movies, whatever. But I just know, I think it's hard to play a character like that. Like, I guess some people say it's fun to play a villain. I've never played a villain. I don't know if I'd ever want to play a villain, but I mean, we all love a good villain, right? One of my favorite villains is Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Like, Ursula's brilliant. And the actress who plays Ursula is brilliant. So props to actors who play villains really well. But I think it takes just as much acting ability, if not more, to bring that much grace to playing the good guy. And to play it with conviction, and to play it where it's believable and you're not bringing in the cheesiness. And that's what Christopher Reeves did, and that's what Chadwick Boseman did. So I put him in the exact same category. Number one reason why the Black Panther is a great movie is because of Chadwick Boseman. So props to him for putting on such a great performance and being in one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, straight up. Okay, so the second reason I really like Black Panther. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's just the themes of the movie is like really, really powerful. So one thing that some people would have complaints about Marvel movies, I love all the Marvel movies. I've seen every Marvel movie in opening night in a theater, like every single one. So I love the Marvel movies, hands down. They're just good. Like overall, they're just good, solid movies. And honestly, either they're your cup of tea or they're not your cup of tea. So if Marvel movies, superhero movies are not your cup of tea, like that's totally valid. But for me, I like them. They're superhero movies. I'm in. And I know with the Marvel movie, I know what I'm gonna get, and I know like 9.9 times out of 10 it's going to be amazing. So I love watching more Marvel movies in the theater opening night. So hopefully once COVID-19 is over, we can get back to doing movie theaters and stuff like that, because I love watching movies in movie theaters. Okay, so the complaint people had sometimes about Marvel is that like there wasn't a lot of depth to the movies, but Black Panther has lots and lots and lots and lots of depth. And I'm not surprised, because I think Ryan Coogler is insanely talented. So he did Fruitvale Station. I live in Oakland, California. I saw Fruitvale Station at the Grand Lake Theater, a packed house. There was not an empty seat in the house, in the theater. And it was predominantly African-American people there watching the movie, and me. And by the time I finished watching Fruitvale Station, the movie, I was sobbing. Oh my god. So not just me. I was crying my eyes out. There were other people in the audience crying. But anyway, it's Fruitvale Station's outstanding. And then I saw he also did basically, it was like a sequel to Rocky called Apollo. I think it's called Apollo. Creed. Called Creed? I should research that. But basically, it's essentially like a sequel or whatever to Rocky, but it's Creed. I think it's Creed, and it's Michael B. Jordan playing the son of Apollo. If you know all the Rocky movies, I love the Rocky movies, so it was cool. But what I loved about it, it's Michael B. Jordan playing Creed. Man, that Ryan Coogler brings so much poetry to his movies, so much. So anyway, and he makes them entertaining. Except I wouldn't call Fruitvale Station entertainment, but I'd call it really good and compelling. Yeah. But anyway, so Creed, really great movie. I saw it at the Grand Lake Theater in Oakland. And Ryan Coogler was there because he's from Oakland. So he came out, he said hi to everybody, enjoyed the movie, and that was just really cool. And we watched it, and it was absolutely fantastic. One thing he did that was really great is he handed off the baton. I like the Rocky movies. I thought Sylvester Stallone was good in the Rocky movies, especially the first Rocky. The part where what I liked about it is, on one hand, it's kind of a love letter to the Rocky movies, and on the other hand, it's doing its own thing. And we get to know Creed, and Creed's a good guy. He's a fun guy to get to know, so to speak. There's a lot of sad stuff in that movie too, but it's very well done. But the part where Creed, spoiler alert, he's about to do the last boxing match, and he says, I just want to prove, that I wasn't a mistake. And I was like, oh. When Creed says that, I was like crying. Because that's the theme of the movie. Like, that's why he's doing the boxing match. And everyone in that movie is struggling. His love interest is struggling with her hearing going away, and she's passionate about music. And Rocky is struggling. So it's a really good movie. And yeah, so I wasn't surprised at all. I knew Black Panther was going to be good. And I'm really happy that Ryan Coogler brought some depth, layers, some poetry to the movie. That's what he brings to all his movies. So with Black Panther, so I saw, let's stick with the themes. Okay, so the theme of like when we get to know T'Challa, and we get to know how basically awesome he is, and he's a superhero, right? And I love superheroes. So he's awesome. He's surrounded by really great women, leaders. It's awesome. And then we get to know Killmonger. And Killmonger is just kind of, he's a very well-written character, very well played by Michael B. Jordan. But we get to know Killmonger and the juxtaposition of seeing how T'Challa lived. He's loved, he's cared for, he's in this rich land of Wakanda in Africa. He has all the resources in the world, and not just material resources. He has like emotional resources. He is surrounded by people who love and care about him. So we have that, and that's T'Challa. And then we have Killmonger, and we see that he lives in Oakland, where I live. But I want to say I've lived in Oakland since 2005, and I've lived in pretty much every neighborhood in Oakland. And some neighborhoods are nicer than other neighborhoods. And right now I live in like pretty much, it's like a middle class neighborhood. My neighbors are awesome. I love it out here. I'm not in the rich people neighborhood of Oakland, but those neighborhoods exist. They never show those in the movies though. They don't show you these big houses in Oakland. They do exist. There's really nice neighborhoods in Oakland. That I don't live in. Anyway, I'm fine. I love my apartment. I love my neighborhood. It's all good. So, but anyway, but they show Killmonger. He's in like a small apartment. Nothing against small apartments. His circumstances are just different. He has his dad, and I believe it's been a while, but his dad passes away. But you just see like he just, not only does he not have enough, he doesn't have as many financial resources, but he also doesn't quite have as many emotional resources. So he's had to fight a lot more for what he has to survive and all that stuff than T'Challa has. And it's a really great juxtaposition. Like it's very well written. It's simple. It's easy to understand. It's just really cool. So basically the movie's about like how to deal with hatred, because the Killmonger, he's just so angry, but it works for his character, but he's just such an angry character. And I understand why he's angry. Like, I empathize with his anger. It's about socioeconomic inequality, and for sure, like, racism is a thing. Racism is bad. We should all fight for racial equality. But I thought it was interesting in Black Panther, T'Challa represented privilege in one way or another, at least financial privilege, emotional privilege. And Killmonger represented someone who just didn't grow up with as much. Not even talking about money, but emotional support. He had it a lot harder than T'Challa did. And so those themes, it's like they kind of, like T'Challa and Killmonger, they kind of are mirrors of each other. Like T'Challa could have been like Killmonger if he'd grown up like Killmonger. Killmonger could have been like T'Challa if he'd have grown up like T'Challa. So they are like at the end when Killmonger's in the Black Panther suit, but it glows yellow, and Black Panther's in the Black Panther suit and it glows purple. Like, it's pretty well written, well done, that they're mirrors of each other. They're opposite sides of the same coin, except T'Challa believes in fighting for the greater good, and Killmonger believes in an eye for an eye, basically, philosophically speaking. But they do a great job of explaining why he's so angry. Like I said, I empathize with his anger. And at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, when Killmonger passes away, I always cry. I cry at good movies. I was watching Cool Runnings because I have Disney Plus, and I was crying at the end of Cool Runnings. Okay, anyway, I cry at good movies. So I like when movies make me feel emotions. So at the end, when Killmonger passes away, and he says, he says a really good line. I forget it, but he says a really good line about, wanting to die free or something like that. Oh, I'm so butchering it, but he gives a great line, and then he passes. It really invokes a lot of empathy for me, because his reasons behind his anger are so compelling. I don't agree with eye for an eye as far as a method of functioning in the world, and I tend to lean more towards Martin Luther King Jr. He leans more towards nonviolence. However, like I said, the script was so well written for Black Panther that they just wrote Killmonger so well that like when he dies, I feel empathy. Like that's a soul lost. So so thematically, Black Panther is a very powerful movie. And the third thing I really like about Black Panther is that it was such an amazing cultural phenomenon. So my story of going to see Black Panther. So like I said, I love all the Marvel movies. I've seen all of them opening night at the Grand Lake Theater in Oakland. I usually see them the Thursday when they come out, sometimes at midnight, and they started coming out at like 7 o'clock on that Thursday, and I see them on Fridays, or Friday, right? So I always see them opening night, and I love watching movies with an opening night crowd, because an opening night crowd for movies, they're really hyped up. They're there to enjoy the movie. They tend to be like movie enthusiasts, so just people are clapping and laughing and like, it's a wonderful experience. And I know we're in COVID-19 right now, but I don't think the experience of movie theaters will ever go away. I think movie theaters, I know they're kind of pricey-ish, I guess, because they're kind of getting pricey, and it's nice to just watch a movie in your home. But just the experience of just being in a theater, eating popcorn, being with people you love and care about, and just watching a movie in a movie theater, it is exciting and it is cool. And I don't think that experience is ever going to completely go away, because people are talking about how, because of COVID-19, it's showing that people don't want to go to movie theaters. I don't think that's true. I think people would totally want to go to movie theaters once it is like okay and safe to do that. I saw Frozen 2 with my little sister, my brother-in-law, my 2 little nieces in a theater, and it was just fun and awesome and amazing. So, anyway, so going to movies in movie theaters is really cool. Okay, so yeah, I've seen all the Marvel movies opening night because I like them. So for Black Panther, I was like, hey, it's a Marvel movie. I'm going to see it opening night. That's what I do. So, because as a nerd. So, I go to the Grand Lake Theater, and I didn't realize, like, Black Panther was going to be, like, white person. I didn't realize it was, like, this big deal, right? So I was like, yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be awesome. I knew I was going to have a blast watching it. But anyway, so, I go to the theater, Grand Lake Theater, and there's this huge line, and the line is predominantly African American, which is awesome, and that's unusual. That's unusual for a Marvel movie. It just is. So it's like, anyway, so especially in Oakland, which is so racially diverse, but usually with Marvel movies. Yeah, okay, so seeing, like, the line to get into Black Panther, I had already bought my ticket, I just had to get in line, but I bought it before that night. But anyway, so the line was predominantly African American, and I was like, oh yeah, like, because I'm silly, I was like, oh yeah, this is like a thing, this is like kind of a big deal, okay, because I'm here as a nerd. Okay, so I get in line, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool, and then people are like, yo, did you hear Ryan Coogler, there's a rumor that he's here and he's going to introduce the movie, and we're like, what, he's here, what? Okay, so then, that's what I was saying. So then I waited in line, and just the energy, the energy of it was so positive, so exciting. It's like I was at a concert, but I was at a movie. I'm going to see an awesome movie. So yeah, I'm in line, and I was like, oh, this movie, it's like a thing, it's like a big deal, and which totally makes sense, because it's like it's a high-budget superhero movie about, not just about African American culture, but also about African culture. So it's just really, really cool. And one of my friends who was in the Peace Corps, she was in Ghana, in Africa, and she said, oh yeah, like, Black Panther was a huge deal, the movie in Ghana. She's like, everyone was decked out to see Black Panther. I was like, wow, that's so cool. So then I go into the movie theater, I sit down, and there's a nice, everyone's super nice because people in Oakland are really nice, and then I was sitting down next to, like, I say this with love, a nerdy African American family, because I am a nerd. And then we started talking about Star Wars, as you do, and talking about how awesome it is, and it should be more diverse. Star Wars should be more diverse. The nerd community in general, with all the entertainment, it should be more racially diverse. Hands down, it should be. And then, so then the theater fills up. Everyone's feeling good. Everyone's feeling happy because it's a superhero movie. That's why I'm happy. But also the extra awesomeness. If you're eating ice cream and you're like, whoa, ice cream's delicious. And then you're like, let's put some sprinkles and some hot chocolate on it or whatever. That just makes it even more awesome. So here we are about to see an awesome superhero movie, and then add to it that it's an all African American cast, and African cast, it's celebrational. It just made it that much more awesome. So we sit down to watch the theater, and we're sitting down, you know, I don't know if I got popcorn or what, but I might have been eating popcorn, whatever. I'm just excited to see this movie. And then right before the movie starts, there's like a stage at the Grand Lake Theater, so then Ryan Coogler comes out. so everyone went bananas because it's Oakland. I don't know. I was like, what's he doing? He's from Oakland. So everyone went bananas and was like clapping and cheering. And I took a picture of him, but I was kind of far away. But yeah, Ryan Coogler was there, and he was just introducing the movie. He's like, I love Oakland. Y'all are going to love some parts in this movie. He's like, I was able to get Oakland in the movie. We're like, yay! I was like, yay! Not everyone around me. Anyway, so everyone was super happy, clapping, and he's like, enjoy the movie, and the other thing he said is, I used to watch movies all the time in this theater, is what he said. My dad would take me to this theater all the time and watch movies in this theater, and so it was just cool. It was just so cool. So they start the movie, and it's awesome, but they say in big letters, because the movie takes place in Oakland, it goes, Oakland, California. And then everyone in the audience starts clearing and chapping, cheering, yeah, and clapping, yeah. Everyone starts cheering and clapping and going, yay, Oakland. But anyway, as we watched the movie, we were laughing, we were cheering, we were feeling sad when it gets sad, but we were just having a blast watching an extremely awesome movie, because give or take, Marvel's gonna deliver a great superhero movie. But the extra awesome sauce to it is that what made it a cultural phenomenon, and it is a really, 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 really big deal considering how horrible historical racism is, and considering how horrible 2020 racism is. It's all bad. It's all bad racism. The fact that here was this kind of here's this movie, this light of hope, like showing, hey, look, this is cool, this is awesome, this is so amazing. And I know some of my friends on Facebook, my African American friends, who like would never go see a Marvel movie, which is I totally understand, totally respect that. But they went to go see Black Panther, and they got all decked out, like they were wearing they got dressed up, and like it was like a big deal to them, which totally makes sense, to go see Black Panther. And I was like, oh yeah, this is like a thing. This is like a big deal. It's a really positive, awesome thing. So yeah, like the fact that Black Panther was this great cultural phenomenon, that's just really, 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 really cool. So yeah, so those are the 3 reasons that I say Black Panther is one of the best superhero movies ever made. I've always thought that, I just never got around to making this video. But I do want to say, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. I'm keeping his family and friends in my prayers. You know, it's super sad that he passed away, but he will never be forgotten. He gave one of the best performances ever, and he played T'Challa with so much grace. He was extremely talented, and he's the #1 reason, with all due respect, with everyone involved, but he was the #1 reason the movie worked. You had to believe that T'Challa was that good, and as a person, and Chadwick really brought that. So that he's good and strong at the same time, and Chadwick really did that. So definitely rest in peace for Chadwick. Last thing I want to say about Black Panther being a cultural phenomenon is sometimes the Academy Awards, the Oscars, like, mad respect to the Oscars, they're awesome, but sometimes I feel like, and again, mad respect to the Oscars, but just a smidgen, they can come across, just a smidgen, just a dash, they can come across a little snooty. So I feel like they're like, oh, a superhero movie? That's cute. Like, they don't, for some reason, nominate superhero movies for Oscars, and it's like, okay, but Black Panther, Black Panther won Academy Awards, and the reason why, that was the Academy giving mad props to Black Panther, like, because it is very well written, the screenplay, straight up. It's very well directed, straight up. But also, you know, Chadwick is fantastic in it. But even the Academy Awards, which can be just a smidgen snooty, even they gave props, and Oscars. They gave Oscars to Black Panther, giving props to Black Panther, the movie. So that's a big deal. Because to me, they don't like to give superhero movies Oscars. They just don't like to do it. I don't know why, but they did give Black Panther Oscars, because that's how much props and respect they gave to Black Panther. So it's a big deal. So anyway, yeah, Black Panther, one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, hands down. Props to Chadwick Boseman for giving such a phenomenal performance. He will never be forgotten. What he represented will never be forgotten. And this is a sad day. This is a sad day for nerds. It's a sad day for... It's sad. But yeah, keeping his friends and family in my prayers. And yeah, so I'm gonna... My memorial, as a nerd, my memorial to Chadwick, I'm gonna get some more Black Panther action figures. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, but also keeping his friends and family in my prayers, hands down. Today is a sad day. Black Panther has passed away. But just you know, do your own memorial for Black Panther, because Chadwick gave an excellent performance, and Black Panther is one of the best superhero movies ever made. If you want to learn more stuff about me, links below. But yeah, just spend 5 minutes today just giving props to Chadwick and mourning Black Panther, because like it's a sad day. Okay, talk to y'all later. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.